How you doing, world? I am the Swamee, and I will be doing a review for you for Pokemon Detective Pikachu. That's right, Detective Pikachu. First, let me give you the Swamee rundown. This movie, directed by Rob Letterman, starring Ryan Reynolds, Justice Smith, Catherine Newton, Suki Waterhouse, Ken Watanabe. Shout out to The Last Samurai, the real Last Samurai. Screenplay written by Nicole Perlman. Story by Dan Hernandez, Benji Samit, and Nicole Perlman again. Cinematography by John Matheson, distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. Now, I'm going to break this down into three main parts. This is how I do reviews. The first part is the story itself, the script, the content, how it moves, the plot, development. The second part is going to be the acting, the performance of the actors, and the third part is the cinematography, the visuals, how it looked. So let's get started. The first part, the story, the content. Simple, basic, bare bone. It's not trying to wow you. It wasn't terribly deep. But a good part, the good side of it is it wasn't trying to be. And I think that's what tipped this particular movie in the balance of good as opposed to not good. It was clearly a kiddie movie. It was a kid flick, and it knew exactly what it was. So you're not going to get terribly deep dialogue. You're not going to get development, character, or plot that's going to be sweeping and land changing or anything of that nature. It is what it is. I felt the pacing was a little slow at the beginning, but they had to introduce some of these characters, especially Justice Smith's character. Some of the actors or the performances came off a little bit wooden at times, but I can't blame the actors for that totally. I think a lot of that had to do with the script and what they had to work with. So I'm not going to lay the blame for that squarely on the actors. However, particularly at the end, this movie more than made up for whatever shortcomings it may have had content-wise in the beginning. So much so that I found myself thoroughly satisfied and surprised pleasantly by this movie. What was the main weakness of the movie, by the end of the movie, turned into its biggest strength. And I'll get into that a little bit later. So all in all, I would say I would give the content, the storyline, the plot, B minus, that kind of thing. In terms of the performance of the actors, like I said before, nothing was stellar, eye-popping, legendary, epic, or anything like that. But I don't think that the actors had too much to work with. I thought Ryan Reynolds did a good job with the voice acting, bringing Pikachu to life. I thought that the interplay at times between him and Justice Smith did work. There were dramatic moments that did work, that kept the story moving along. So again, I kind of see it as like that ball player that's not the star on the team. His job is to do very limited roles, but he does it and he does it well. That's sort of what this movie did, both in terms of the script and in terms of the actors. The third part is the cinematography, the visual. How does this movie look? What kind of impact is it going to have? What's the CGI like? What's the lighting like? This is the strongest part of the movie. This is really where the movie excelled to me. The world that they created was a world where they found the right balance between fantasy and reality. They found a way to make these Pokemon look believable next to humans. And that was the biggest gamble for the movie. I thought that if they didn't get that particular part right, the movie would have imploded like a house of cards, falling on itself. But they were able to get it right. I found myself nodding in approval a couple of times, impressed by the fact that they were able to make you believe that these little furry, well, not little, but these creatures are walking down the street with humans, and it didn't really seem to matter or care too much. So credit to the cinematography of the movie, those responsible for it. You did your thing. In terms of plot twists, I will say that the plot twist at the end really took the movie up a notch, really caught me by surprise, and the way it was executed was Well done. Sterling. So that having been said, all in all, this review will be quick because I don't want to put too many spoilers into it. I'm not putting any actually. But what I will say is that this movie is probably the best kiddie flick I've seen in the last decade. Definitely worth the trip if you have kids. If you're looking for a family movie, this is a good one to do. I probably think it's going to be better than The Lion King, to be honest. It's that surprising, especially at the end. Especially that plot twist at the end. And again, how they pulled it off, how it was executed. Well done. Swamee salute. All in all, the Swamee scale, 1 to 5 stars. I'm going to give this movie 4 out of 5 Swamee stars. Definitely go see it. Definitely a movie that you can bring the kids to, that they will enjoy, especially if they're fans. And you will enjoy too, especially if you're not a fan of Pokemon. I am not. But I found myself engaged and impressed with the movie, walking out feeling somewhat satisfied all the way around 360 degrees. So that being said, definitely, if you're in the mood for a kiddie flick, this is the one for you. Big up, Swamee salute, Pokemon Detective Pikachu. I'm out. The Swamee has spoken.